You're watching Femchef FGC. Like and subscribe to my favorite gladiator on the Citadel.
Hello YouTube, it's me Femshep, and I am back with my monthly replay reviews for my channel members. And these are for September. I fell a little bit behind. I've kept in touch with them over the past couple of days to apologize and make sure they knew that they were still getting the replay reviews they were owed, and I will still be doing October replay reviews. So things will be caught up after this. I apologize again for the delay, but I appreciate both of you being as understanding as you were. So, we are going to be looking at Modern Ken with Ragnarok, and we're going to be looking at Classic Cammy with Shaq. Ragnarok did not give me anything specific to focus on in his replay. Shaq said that he's struggling with anti-airs, and he's just not really sure where he's hitting a wall. He feels like he's not making any progress. So, hoping I'll be able to help both these guys out. I'm going to start with Ragnarok. In past replays that I have watched for you, Ragnarok, I have mostly talked about the importance of playing at the correct range, that you tend to play really far away, and then rely on jump-ins or Dragon Lash and auto combos. Already, the range is better. You could definitely be playing more aggressive, but just for those first few seconds, you didn't immediately walk yourself to the corner, you didn't immediately do a neutral skip, you were ready to anti-air, that's all really good. Okay, we're still relying on the auto combos a little bit too much. I am really excited to see you doing the drive rush into the stand heavy punch instead of into a button that doesn't convert, because before you were just doing like a whole auto combo there, often the light auto combo there. The main thing that you want to change here is that if you get the hit off that drive rush stand heavy punch with the heavy auto combo, instead of converting into the light auto combo, you want to convert into medium. Because you can end that auto combo early and either end the target combo with run Tatsu for corner carry, run DP for good Oki, good damage, and run Dragon Lash for a side switch. So I'm just going to back this up a tiny bit to get us there. Since this is modern, I can actually take over. Oh. There we go. And for this, if you do the run Tatsu and you double dash forward, you are plus enough to either meaty with 5 frame, get a meaty throw to start your throw loop. You have a lot of different, you can meaty with the crouch light kick to get a meaty with a low. You can do a back dash after the forward dashes to really mess with their liking to throw tech. You got a lot of options. If you do the run DP, then you can dash forward into a meaty crouch medium kick. And potentially convert off of that, especially if you're confident enough to drive rush cancel it. I drop the combo, but you get the idea. And then if you do the run Dragon Lash, you can do the modern DP here to make it easier, but you get a little bit more damage if you do heavy DP, which is manual. Just changing what you convert into there is going to make a really big difference. Because here, you're doing way less damage, you're not getting any corner carry, and you're not getting significant Oki either. Where this was a really big hit for you that could have taken JP all the way to the corner and done probably at least 1,000 more damage. I didn't look at the numbers when I was demonstrating the combos earlier, but just changing the routing there should make a really big difference, because you're getting the hit. That was very good Oki. Alright, we're doing it again. Now, what do you do when he blocks it? Really good! That is a real frame trap in that situation. You are minus here. Did you keep pressing? You stopped! Alright, this is a dramatic difference from the last time I watched you play Ken. Just in the first, 8 seconds of the match, genuinely, you have stepped it up significantly. You're doing real Oki setups instead of just trying to guess. You're not playing really passive. You're standing at the correct range, and you're hit confirming. Even though you could be hit confirming into a better combo, you hit confirmed into a combo, and then when you didn't get the hit, you did something that was safe on block and waited. This is really, really good. All right, now we're playing a little bit too far away. Against a zoner, like JP especially, you really don't want to be at full screen. Yes, Ken does have OD Fireball to kind of win Fireball wars, but to get a lot out of that, you have to drive rush behind it, which means in total you're spending 3 bars of drive meter. And it's really when you have to force your way in thing, not a thing where you want to choose to be at full screen because you want to do that. Against a character like JP who can be so oppressive from full screen especially, you want to be closer. Ken wants to be closer in general because he's kind of the rushdown Shoto in that way, but especially against a zoner, closer. Alright, what happens here? The parry on the projectiles is really good, and I get the idea here that you were kind of trying to OD Fireball through the projectiles. With JP, you kind of just have to block the spikes and then walk forward or dash forward a little bit and wait and block another spike and dash forward and kind of look for your moment where you think he's going to set up an unsafe portal to drive rush in. But this wasn't a terrible idea. Nice air to air. Okay, I don't love the light auto combo when you could be doing like jabs that you could confirm into heavy DP for more damage, but that does require a motion input. It's another layer of the mental stack at where you are now. I made it all the way to master without using any motion inputs in my combos, so you absolutely don't need motion inputs if you're finding an alternative for where you currently are in rank. The important thing is that you didn't try to press a really big button after you air-to-aired him there and you were kind of on equal footing. You went for a fast button to try to catch him without getting counter hit yourself, which is really good. Alright, good throw. When they jump out of your whiffed throw tack, you're pretty much always going to have time to DP. And especially on Modern, you really want to be aware of, as you are doing a throw attempt, you want to be thinking, if they jump this, I am ready to DP, because you absolutely had it here. Ken can even do this like jump medium punch thing into OD Tatsu that I haven't practiced. I'm getting regular Tatsu, but you can do OD Tatsu there and like combo into DP. You can tell I haven't played Ken in a while. He didn't used to be able to do this. This is after Modern got access to all their aerial buttons, because he didn't used to be able to do this. Alright, I'm not going to be able to execute it, but basically you do jump medium punch, quarter circle back, OD Tatsu, and then you can actually get a DP on landing. I can't remember what strength of DP, but that's kind of a fancy combo. If you literally just do a regular DP to anti-air here, that's fine. When he's that high up, you could also probably... No, it doesn't work. That only works because he hit a button in the air. That's not real. Okay. Yeah, just stick to the DP for now, and if you want to lab the fancy combo with the air-to-air conversion, then lab it, but I wouldn't focus on that right now. Just being ready to anti-air after they jump your throw. Okay, this got messy very quickly. He's like double throw tacking, and you jumped at him for some reason, even though he was in the corner. As a rule of thumb, if they are in the corner, do not jump at them. Because all they have to do is walk forward to swap your positions, and then you lose your advantage, and you're in a really bad spot. If you had just, like, waited here... Yeah, if you had just waited here like half a second, You could have gotten a big combo, potentially. Ugh. It's been a minute. Not quite enough to kill, but almost. You want to be close if you think they're going to whiff a throw, because you're not getting much out of jumping over him after he whiffs the throw. You're getting a much smaller combo, especially if you aren't ready to land into a good starter and convert, because it's hard to confirm what's happening beneath you when you're already in the air and thinking about that. And in general, I'm just going to focus on this whole like situation for a moment of you went for a throw, they jumped the throw. Okay, if you were not ready to DP, let's say he is landing in front of you, it's too late for you to DP. It is much more valuable for you to press a button on his landing than for you to go for another throw. Because there are landing frames before they can act again, where you can just bully their drive gauge for free. And if they do try to press and you get a counter hit based on the timing of your button, that's great too. But generally, this is something I've been working on myself because Marissa's anti-airs are really bad. You can still absolutely get an advantage against people who just want to jump like crazy by recognizing that they're doing crazy jump shenanigans and forcing them to hold pressure on their landing. So that's another thing you could have done here if you were gonna block here and not DP. Just hit him with a button when he lands. And it would have beaten what he was trying to do there. It's been a minute. Trying to get a light kick. There it is. If you don't want to do the DP there, you can also just convert into the full light auto combo off the counter hit stand heavy punch. But you get the hit. That's again where if you'd landed into like a medium and done some drive rush cancels, you could have gotten a much bigger combo, but it got confusing because you were jumping around. All right, now you're in the corner, what do? Immediate DI. Honestly, I wouldn't have been ready for that either. That's crazy. I agree. He was playing really, really aggressive. If people are going to play super aggressive like that, and you have the drive meter to spend on a reversal, good idea. I especially like that you went for the ODDP instead of the super, because JP was doing a lot of fireball pressure, and it would have beaten Ken's level 1, because it's not fireball invul. So, good reversal. What do you do here? Okay, just so you know, that drive rush stand heavy punch Oki does not work. It's not real in the current season. If he had woken up with a 4-frame, he could have counter hit you out of it. He didn't, so you got your pressure, and it's good pressure. Like, absolutely keep doing this until they show you they know to interrupt it. But just so you know, that's not real Oki. I love that you keep inching your way closer now. Like, a dramatic improvement in the range. All right, now you're playing too far away again. You start moving closer, you start getting into almost the range where you want to be, and then you keep kind of panicking and backing up. Like, you were walking him into the corner, you were in a good position, and now you're in a position to potentially lose the round. Oh no. Nice.
Round 2.
Okay, I don't know what that was. I'm gonna assume it was a missed input. Because it looks like you were trying to hit light auto, and instead you did quarter circle back light. So you were trying to do an air-to-air light kick. In general, with Ken, you really just want to be anti-airing with DP. Especially when you have a modern DP. This is just better for you. It does more damage, it's more consistent, you get an actual knockdown, and you can do your Oki. Whereas, like what you did, or what you were trying to do, which is this, he doesn't get knocked down, you do barely any damage, and you don't have significant frame advantage of any kind. If you do want to air, then you want to do it with that medium punch that can convert into Tatsu in the corner. If you're in the corner, anyway. Mid-screen, I think probably just doing the light like you did is okay. But, like, that's only really going to be necessary if you're really, really, really late on the DP and you're not confident in your ability to get it out. And when you have a modern DP, you don't really have an excuse for not being ready for the DP, because you can do that DP so late. Like, just backing this up. That still works. Like, he's practically on the ground before I hit that button. That's a little too late, but, like, you can do it really late. There. Like, really late. He's practically on the ground already. And even if he was going to land behind you, you still have a lot of time to cross-cut it. So I would definitely focus on not even necessarily labbing your DPs, but just playing matches with a focus on when they jump, I'm going to DP. And you will get it wrong sometimes, you'll screw up your crosscut sometimes, that's okay. It's the only way to get it into your muscle memory. Because you're giving up opportunities to get real Oki and real damage, and more consistent anti-airs and knockdowns by relying so heavily on air-to-airs. I almost feel like this might be a relic of you playing other characters that did not have access to a DP, because we get used to having to rely on air-to-air with characters like Marissa, but with Ken, it's just DP all day, every day. Okay. I like that you keep doing the OD Fireball only because he's showing you that he keeps getting hit and he doesn't know what to do about it, so you're getting in for free. I also like that you dashed in behind it to avoid spending too much drive meter, since he wasn't really checking your dash approach with anything. That was a good way to save your drive meter. The random jumping again. I'm seeing just these glimmers of the habits I saw the last time I watched your replays. Like, you're developing really good new habits. You just need to break the old habits. And the jumping and the air-to-airing, just the being in the air in general, is probably the biggest one. Yeah, too much jumping, and then you are like freezing up on what kind of pressure to do and just resorting to light auto combo, which is getting you hits. But again, like, even without drive rush up close, it's still better for you to use a stand heavy punch that could convert on counter hit. It's still better for you to use even a, like, go for a throw sometimes. It feels like there's just still a lot of light auto combo. It's not terrible, you just don't want to overuse it. I also like that you are, is that just from mashing, or are you selecting the ender? Hang on, let me check. I haven't played Ken in a minute. Okay, you are selecting the ender. Right, because the light auto combo ends in the low. You are hit confirming the Jinrai into the heavy ender to get the knockdown, which you were not doing before. You were just looping the light auto combo last time I watched a replay. That's fantastic. Okay, yeah. You're getting the hits. Just doing a lot of the drive rush stand heavy punch, and you keep hitting him with the drive rush stand heavy punch. So I don't hate that you keep using it. Once they start blocking, sometimes you gotta mix it up and go for drive rush throw sometimes, drive rush low sometimes, until they show you that they know how to deal with it. Then absolutely keep doing it. But this is again where you could be getting a much bigger conversion from understanding your routes. You can also, if you don't want to do the full medium heavy target combo that you get off the auto combo here into run Tatsu or run DP, you can also do just the first hit of the medium auto combo, quarter circle back light, medium DP, which is also the modern DP, and that looks like this. Or, sorry, a light DP. Or medium works. It's just been a minute since I played a Ken. So that's one way to get a lot of damage if you're comfortable with the motion input. It does take a little bit of practice. Worst case scenario, you can always just do one of these enders. When you're this close to the corner, you want to go for run DP for the damage. Because as you can see, that's 2536. Where this would be 2104. So you're giving up a couple hundred damage. If you don't need the corner carry, if you're already in the corner and you want to end it with one of these, just do run DP. Because that does 2536. And what you did, let's see here. Yeah, you gave up 500 damage, basically, by going for this route. I also... You are flowcharting a little bit. Like I can tell it's linear. Like you get your knockdown and then you do your drive rush stand heavy punch and then you try to throw them. It is kind of the same thing every time and you want to start to vary that more. But if they don't know how to deal with it, great. There are two things worth noting here though. Last time you went for a throw in the same situation and he jumped. If they're jumping in that situation, then the next time you create the same situation, you want to go for a button, not a throw. So that you can beat them jumping. Because if they're trying to jump and you hit a button, they just get hit. But even if you are going to go for throw again, you should be thinking, not only every time you do a throw, but especially when they already jumped your last one, hey, he might jump this throw, I've got to be ready to DP. Because you could have DP'd this again. Good DP. Okay, this is again where you're kind of always doing the light auto combo here. And because you did the light auto combo here, your damage caps out at 4,000 and he doesn't die. If you had done an optimal cash out here, let me check what would have happened. He would have almost died, not quite. Even if you had just done a partial cash out though. If you had not burnt yourself out, but almost burnt yourself out, because you're gonna get the meter back during the animation anyway, he would have been like on a pixel here. And even if you hadn't done any drive rush cancels, just converting into a medium instead of a light brings your damage up by like another 330 because lights scale the damage of everything after that so much. Just changing that conversion is going to be a game changer for you. Okay, that was kind of a weird situation. You definitely want to learn Oki off your different knockdowns, because the drive rush stand heavy punch is good off a lot of them, but not all the time. And Ken's Oki changes depending on if his super was CA or not, so it is a little confusing. I don't hate it here. I do wonder though, because he was in the air when he got hit here, if you could have done a weird conversion. Yeah, he could have died. If they're still like floating in the air after they get hit by your button, just go for DP. Or even OD Dragon Lash. That also works. Anytime they get caught like floating like that. Because he was dead. Yeah, again, a little too much jumping, a little too much light auto combo. I do really like that you changed up the ender there and recognized he was crouching to get the kill. All told, this is dramatic progress for you. This is the most dramatic progress I've seen in a replay review that I've done for you, I think, since I started doing these for you. There's a lot of things here that are a lot better. I can tell you have a general game plan, you have an understanding of where you want to stand, you know that you're doing something that can actually convert on hit, you understand what to do if it's actually blocked, you're trying to do your throw loops. The main things that I would focus on are if they jump your throw, DP. If they jump at all, DP. Stop air to airing, just DPs all day, every day. change the conversion that you're getting off the drive rush stand heavy punch on hit to go into the medium auto combo instead of the light auto combo so that you can get more corner carry, more damage, better Oki. And I would gradually start just integrating more simple Oki off of more knockdowns over time. If you stick with just the drive rush stand heavy punch for now, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But do remember that if they aren't repeatedly getting hit by it, it's important to also mix in throws and lows. You don't always want to do the same sequence. Don't always do anti-air knockdown, drive rush stand heavy punch, throw, panic, jump at them, light auto combo. That's the other thing. Just stop doing like a light auto combo after jump in. Stop doing random light auto combo. If you want to do something after a jump in that they block, go for a throw or go for a medium or maybe go for a crouch light kick. See if you can get anything there. But just always going for the light auto combo is going to become problematic later because it's negative on block if they block the whole thing. This guy just kept getting hit, but it is negative on block. It's punishable. It can also be weak to DI if you're always doing the whole Jinrai after the light kick. So worth being aware of that. But I honestly think you are well on your way to hitting master rank soon. This is a lot cleaner. You look a lot more comfortable, and I'm really happy to see it. It's awesome.
And now a quick break to thank this video's sponsor, Zenni Gaming. Zenni has been a leading online glasses company since 2003, when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was released. With over 50 million pairs sold, Zenni offers prescription sunglasses, sports glasses, blue light glasses for gaming, safety glasses, and just regular old glasses, so you can look like Marissa Outfit 2, Aki Outfit 3, whatever you want. And unlike costumes in Street Fighter 6, Zenni is always releasing new fits, all for a fraction of what glasses would cost at an offline store. You can even virtually try them on with your device's camera before you buy. Use promo code GLADIUS to get 10% off your Zenni purchase while supporting the channel. Link is in the description. With such low-cost eyewear, you can find something to match every cosplay or esports jersey. The possibilities are as endless as Ken Main's downplay. Thanks for watching the ad. Now back to the video.
All right, Shaq. What you got? I guarantee you are not as hopeless as you feel. We have all been there. We have all been there. Every single person who has put real time into improving at this game knows this feeling. Ugh. Okay, right off the bat, this guy is playing really aggressive, which can be overwhelming, especially when you're nervous, but you gotta press some buttons, because you're barely pressing anything here. I'm mostly seeing, like, lights, and you gotta take your turn with some heavies and some mediums, things that actually establish space, can potentially convert on hit, because you're just kind of waiting for him to stop attacking you before you take your turn back, and you need to assert your turn. Not just when he's forced to stop pressing buttons. Like, looking at this whole sequence here. Okay. Round start, you get knocked down. You block the fireball. Up close. So, he's actually very negative here. I think you actually could have gotten a punish. Let me check. Not close enough. I don't know the controls off of Classic. And I don't know Cammy combos. But like, just looking at this all together, you get hit, you block a close range fireball. It's definitely your turn here. Even if it's not obvious that he's not like necessarily punishable, just because somebody isn't punishable doesn't mean it's still their turn. Even if you can't hit them guaranteed after what they just did, that doesn't mean they're plus, that doesn't mean they get to keep pressing buttons. This was an opportunity for you to walk forward and press a button of your own, and you kind of panicked. Okay, you did go for a crouch medium. So you had the right idea. It was hard to see because of how fast you got hit here. I don't hate this. You just had to be a little bit closer. You had to be a little bit more aware of your spacing. Because going for the crouch medium here is not bad in theory. It's just that the spacing was wrong. Again, the close range fireball. This is 100% your turn now. You blocked. Okay, the Tiger Knee, for future reference, is not so plus and so oppressive if you block it standing. You want to block standing more in this matchup. You can also DI it if you're really ready, or you can DP it. So if I back this up here a little bit... I'm trying to get a manual DP. Oh, I have to do it with kicks, that's why. But as you can see, you can DP it on reaction, or you can drive impact it on reaction as well. If he's being predictable where he's using it, which this guy's spamming it from the very beginning of the match. So absolutely, like, just, if somebody's overusing a tool like that, focus entirely on punishing them when they use the tool. Like, force them to stop. And if they won't stop, just kill them for it. Alright, you block, he's plus. Yeah, it's because you blocked it crouching. Like, I like that you tried to take your turn back and that you tried to take your turn back with a light, but he's plus if you block that crouching. I don't know that I would have reacted to that either. Sometimes it's hard to be ready for DI. It happens. Yeah, he's obsessively doing Fireball then Tiger Knee. So if he's gonna keep doing that... Whatever Cammy's combo is there. And she probably has a side switch combo here as well, even if you didn't get a combo. Classic feels so weird. But don't let people abuse tools that do have counterplay. And as annoying as Tiger Knee is, if you're not ready to react to it, just think stand block more. If you are ready to react to it, DP, DI, you can also perfect parry. But because you keep blocking this crouching, it's still not your turn. And then here he's just exploiting the fact that you're nervous and uncomfortable and trying to figure out what to do. Like, it makes you feel stupid to get hit by multiple DIs, but it happens to world-class players. Like, don't dwell on that. That's not the real problem you're having here. The real problem you're having is not understanding when it's your turn against Tiger Knee and not punishing the abuse of the Tiger Knee. I like that a lot, actually. You definitely could have converted there. Anytime you get a DI that leaves them, like, weirdly floating in the air like this, you can, at the very least, get a DP for sure, if nothing else. You could probably also get like an air... Can you get an air throw after that? What is the input for air throw? Probably not, because he's in a float state. But you can definitely get a DP. You might even be able to get a level 1. What's the input for level 1?
My turn. Behave now.
I don't know what the input is for level 1, but you could probably convert into level 1 there too. Which would have been a good way to attack his drive gauge. But you definitely want to convert into something off those floats. I'm surprised he burnt himself out, but honestly, you were so close to dead, and he had such an enormous life lead that he could afford to gamble this. When people are playing relentless in one area of their play, especially in Diamond, odds are that they're playing that way in other areas of their play. What I mean is, from the very beginning when he was attacking you, he's just pressing. Fireball, Tiger Knee, Fireball, Tiger Knee, DI, Fireball, Tiger Knee. If somebody is attacking you without even stopping to breathe, they're probably not going to stop to breathe on defense either. If somebody's playing crazy and you finally knock them down, take a breath and wait and see if they play crazy on defense too, because there's a pretty strong chance they do.
I shall fight you until your final breath. Round 2. Fight.
That's what we like to see. I feel like I spoke into the past. Good shit.
Behave now.
I would not have necessarily spent the super there, but you did get a lot of corner carry off of it, so I don't hate it. What do you do for Oki? Okay. You kind of like hesitated because he did ODDP on his last wake up, so I understand why you hesitated. You needed to really be ready to DP that, but I understand you weren't. What happens here now? Okay. Good confirmation of the hit into combo. You could definitely get a better combo there, but it wasn't a bad combo. Nice! Yeah, you're kind of just autopiloting like one of two combos. Either the one that ends in super or the one that doesn't, instead of really considering what route you want to do depending on the situation. Like I just gave the example with Ken on how he has a couple of different enders with his medium heavy target combo into run. Cammy definitely has combos other than just these two that could be doing more damage and that could be setting up Oki that you know. It really feels like you don't know what your guaranteed meaties are off of these knockdowns. So you're just kind of randomly picking a button as they get up. And that makes it much harder to continue your pressure. Like in the Ken replay, the thing I just pointed out that Ragnarok's doing a lot better is that he's going for a drive rush heavy punch that has routes that you know to route into if it hits them or if it's blocked. And you know it's going to hit meaty off a lot of his knockdowns. Here, it feels like he's getting up and you're going, okay, he's getting up, I should press a button. And you're just kind of spinning the wheel and picking a button. You don't know the specific setup off the knockdown. You don't necessarily have a conversion in mind. And that's kind of nerfing your pressure because you don't know how to follow it up when you get the hit. And Cammy, like Cammy's game plan is take you to the corner and mix the shit out of you with her annoying throw loop and her annoying buttons and her annoying spacing traps. So you want to have the maelstrom of pressure going after you get the knockdown. And it feels like you're so relieved you get the knockdown and then you don't know what to do. You've really got to be ready to DP when people jump in your face. But I know you already said that anti-airs is something you've been struggling with, so I know you're aware of that. I'm not going to harp on that. I will go into training mode a little bit with anti-airs before I close the video out. Nice! Bikini!
Not here, okay?
Final round. Fight.
I like that you walked up into his face and pressed a button, but you had to walk so close to get a jab in. And you have buttons that reach a lot further than a jab. You're playing like really far away, and Cammy does not really have far away options other than completely random spiral arrow. Like, you're limiting your approach options to just getting really, really close to them and trying to hit a button. Where you have other ways of approaching as Cammy. You can fish for a drive rush cancel with a crouch medium kick, buffer the parry button behind it, or a parry input behind it rather. You can be throwing out her long reaching like heavy punch, or that one kick where she spins like all the way around. You could be doing drive rush. Even drive rush jab would be much better than walking up as close as you are to do jab, because he should have interrupted that walk up. It took a really long time. You also aren't representing dive kick as an option at all. And Sagat's anti-airs are not great, so you definitely want to be using dive kick in this matchup because you're not making him think about the air at all. The only thing you are forcing your opponent to think about, the way you're currently playing, is how close you've walked. Because you don't jump, you don't press long buttons. You're not trying to whiff punish. He doesn't really have to worry about anything other than you walking all the way up to his face before you press a button. And he has a lot of time to interrupt that walk up. So you want to mix in drive rush, you want to mix in dive kick, you want to fish with the crouch medium kick, you want to use your long normals. Don't hesitate and stay at this range where Cammy can't assert any pressure from full screen because she doesn't have a fireball. Get in closer and harass with her buttons. And understand what mix you can get off of those buttons. Like if you do crouch medium kick drive rush and it's blocked, know what your frame trap is. Or just throw them. Or if you do it into jab to keep it a true string, know after they block the jab, what's your frame trap. Or maybe you shimmy. Set up situations where they have to guess. Cammy, in some ways, to me, feels like if a Shoto and Kimberly had a baby, because she is very much about like oppressive, in-your-face mix-up offense once she gets in, but she has the kinds of really good buttons that a Shoto has. And she also has the dive kick, which is basically a million times better version of Kimberly's elbow drop. You just gotta represent more of your options. I feel like you're probably sitting there thinking, nothing I'm doing is working, I'm really bad at the game. And it's because you're not doing a lot of things. The 2 or 3 things that you're doing aren't working. But you have so many other tools you could use. You're not stupid, you're just limiting yourself by not using all of your tools. Because you walked up, like, in his face for that. That's quite the face, Sagat. I do like that you converted off of this. You weren't quite ready to punish the throw tack. You did just go for a throw after. You want to be ready to whiff punish if they whiff a throw in your face like that, but it happens. Nice! Okay. I see the problem. The additional problem here. I would say your primary problem is that you don't use all your tools to approach. But once you do get in, all of your combo routes spend resources. They all include either a drive rush cancel that spends 3 bars of your drive meter, or they burn a level 1 super at the end. So you're always hungry for resources. You want to save those resources for when they're the most rewarding for you to use. You need combos that don't use drive rush. I do not know what Cammy's combos are, but if you just talk to some Cammy players and get like 1 or 2 B&B combos that do not spend drive rush, just understanding should I do a drive rush combo here or not will make a really big difference because you won't be left with no resources.
I have the momentum.
Because now, see, because you'd spent so much of your meter, you accidentally got back thrown and you're already almost in burnout. Half his life bar is gone. You're winning the round by health, but you are so close to burnout that I'm genuinely worried for you at this point. He got that almost for free just because of the resources situation. Anti-airs. Okay, so for the Tiger Nexus, this is another matchup check type thing. I'm not going to go into the specifics of like which ones are punishable on block or not. I have to look that over myself to make sure I refresh my memory. But at the very least, most of them are interruptible with a jab. Only one of them will frame trap you. So after the first hit, it's worth mashing jab to represent it. Or if you really don't want to mash jab, only the first hit of, I believe it's heavy Tiger Nexus is like safe on block. Every other one, if you do an ODDP, you'll be able to interrupt between the hits. So it's worth representing ODDP against that option as well. Yeah, you're kind of just flailing because you didn't know how to get out of the corner. When you have the meter, a lot of times it's worth it to do a crouch medium kick drive rush cancel when you're in the corner, because then you can force them to guess if you're going to frame trap them, if you're going to back throw them, all that good stuff to reassert that it's your turn to get out of the corner. Random DI, probably not a good idea. Good reaction. And that kills, right? Because it's CA. Okay. This is not even half as bad as you think it is. You're beating yourself up, and you're honestly, your mental's probably a bigger problem than your gameplay. You just need to start adding more layers. Because right now, your Cammy gameplay is walk up with tiny button, and then do a drive rush combo or a super combo. Learn a couple of combos that don't spend any meter. Start experimenting with your other approach options like crouch medium kick, dive kick, using your big buttons, all of that. For anti-airs, what I personally have done to work on my anti-airs is to have a bot set to do a couple of different things. I'm literally going to use Modern Cammy for this.
Another mission awaits.
If you want to set up your own drill, this has personally helped me. Your mileage may vary. First recording is going to be Ryu shimmying back and forth 2 or 3 times, which is just looping here. Your second recording is Ryu shimmying back 2 or 3 times into an option. It can be a whiff that you want to whiff punish, or it can be a DI that you want to DI back. I think DI is a good one. But the second one should be the shimmy into a jump in. Then what you do is you turn on shimmy into jump in, shimmy into something else, so I'm going to do DI, and just shimmy, and you turn the random selection rate of the shimmy up to like 3, so that it is randomizing how many shimmies there are before the Ryu bot does anything. You turn repeat replay on, you turn replay info display off. And then what you get is a randomized timing of either jump-ins or DI. And this means that you're not just practicing your anti-airs in a vacuum, because if Ryu is only jumping, it's really easy to anti-air because you're not thinking about anything else. It gets much harder if you add even one other thing that you have to look for. Where's the jump? If you want to work only on your anti-airs in a vacuum, you can always go into the basic settings or simple training settings and just hit anti-air practice, which it does overwrite your existing recordings, so be aware before you do this. But anti-air practice will automatically create a Ryu bot that is recorded to jump at you at semi-random intervals. The thing is that it's not doing anything else, so I don't think it's as good training as training with a jump in and something else, but it is an option. If you want to be able to access the pre-made anti-air practice and your own custom training drill, record your custom training on somebody that isn't Ryu, so that anti-air practice won't override your recordings, because anti-air practice always uses a Ryu bot. And for, I guess last thing I'll mention is the, crouch medium kick situation. Let me just switch to Ken since I know Ken's combos. Okay, so you want to know if you're fishing with your crouch medium kick, what do you do on hit? So a simple example for Ken, if I see the crouch medium kick hit, or if the crouch medium kick is blocked. This happens. There are 3 things you can do here. You can just throw them. You can do a button that'll frame trap them. if they tried to hit a button. Something you can convert off of. Or you can just do a jab, which is a true string, so he can't DP between this. There's no gap here. A DP won't come out. And then after the drive rush jab, you're +3. So you can either frame trap again, like we talked about before, probably with more lights. You can throw him, and throwing will beat buttons, or you can shimmy him. So examples of beating buttons. I'm kind of just like doing random stuff because I haven't been playing Ken. I'm not 100% sure what his optimal frame trap there is. Probably something like... yeah. Or you can throw them, which should beat the button if I do it fast enough. Where's my throw button? There it is. I don't know why it wasn't coming out fast enough. You can throw them, or if you think you're gonna try to like DP, you can shimmy. So, obviously adding layers to your offense is adding a lot to your mental stack. If you want to start just by adding using more crouch medium kick as an approach option instead of walking all the way up and hitting jab, I think that alone would make a big difference, especially if you understand the different things you can do off of it. And learning a couple of combos that don't spend drive meter, and labbing your anti-airs. I think those 3 things is probably enough to focus on right now. I really hope this was helpful. Thank you both for being such loyal channel members. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sorry that this video was late, but I will do everything in my power to ensure that the October replay review is up by end of the month and not in November. Have a great rest of your day or your weekend or your week, depending on when this actually goes up, once I have thumbnail and editing and everything done. But thank you both. I really appreciate it.
Where are you going? Before hitting like and subscribe,